All right, hey champions out there, welcome to part 2 of my video, the 5 steps of creation, process of creating your dreams into physical reality. All right, so part 1 was about step 1, which contrast causes you to launch rockets of desire. You sift and sort through the contrast of life, which shows you what you don't want, don't like, and which gives you great clarity about what you do like and do want, which then you launch rockets of desire for what you desire. You launch rockets of desire for improvement as the natural creator that you are. And step 2, when you've launched those rockets of desire, infinite intelligence, source, God, universe, whatever you want to call it, the law of attraction, everybody's on your team. And when life causes you to want something, all those forces put everything together, all the cooperative elements, all resources move forward to the fulfillment of this desire for you. You're the leading edge of all creation. The entire universe is moving hell and high water to help you manifest your desires in a physical reality. So when life causes you to become more, even if you haven't quite caught up with all that you have become, the energy that creates worlds, it moves in your direction. And when you're tuned in, you pick up on it. And you follow those impulses, and then you see miracles unfolding for you. Inspired living, watching for the setup, acknowledging it, and seeing where it leads. Following the inspiration, the guidance that comes from feeling good, knowing you're on your path, you're headed in the right direction. Taking credit for your responsiveness, for your awareness, for your perceptions, for your perspective, for your being. The question is, how long are you going to bang around in the contrast, or how soon are you going to surrender and let go and stop fighting and trying to prove your worthiness and doing it rough and struggling and etc., and get on the path that Source has lined up for you? And how well are you going to stay on the path and understand the path and how pleasurable the path is going to be? That is the question. How bad are you willing to feel before you meditate? Again, and how far am I willing to get away from who I truly am? How long will you justify your existence with your pain? You don't have to work at alignments. Just don't do that thing that prevents it. Your natural state of being is alignment. You just don't think those thoughts about what you don't like and don't want it, and that prevents you from aligning with what you do want. It's natural for you to feel good and for ideas to flow. That's your natural state of being. Everything else is unnatural, and you preventing the flow of well-being. So don't ask for the impossible. Ask for resonance. When you're having a step 1 moment, you're in the contrasts. Step 1 moments matter. Contrast is important. That's how your vortex became filled with clarity about who you really are and what you really want. And the contrast that you're experiencing, that you think you want to avoid, is the stuff that puts the eternalness into eternity. You don't want to cease having step 1 moments and experiencing contrast. You just want the sunshine, rainbows, and lollipops. You don't just want sunshine, rainbows, and lollipops 24/7. So don't beat up on yourself when you don't feel resonance with Source, when you don't feel alignment, when you're having a step one moment. This is the time of launching the rocket of your desire for improvement. This is the time of asking. So in fact, the evolution of all species only exists because people like you are willing to subject yourself to contrasting experiences that causes you to define really good questions. And sometimes it takes exposure to quite a lot of contrast to cause you to define a really good question. Tony Robbins talks about, a lot about this in his book, Awaken the Giant Within. Ask yourself empowering questions, not disempowering ones. Ask yourself questions that presuppose success and the solution. You can't get a really good answer without a really good question. And you can't get a wonderful life-giving solution unless you have explored its absence for a while. So, basically, we want you to love yourself and embrace all of it, all the pain, all the pleasure, all the sensuality, all the contrast, because it's all part of the expansion process. And when you do that, you have a big drama. When you do that, you have a big dramatic thing happen. But just be excited, because when you have a big dramatic thing happen, be excited, get excited, because you know that you're going to have a really big growth. You're going to have a really big solution that's going to come out of this contrast. So when you're in a step one moment, you're just in the crap, as it were, the proverbial shit. Just be in the moment and be clearly aware of what you don't want. Just realize that it's showing you what you don't want, and that there's amazing goodness in that. Try to make the step one moment a step three moment, which I'm going to be talking about what a step three moment is, which is you want to put some distance between the two in the form of time and even space. When you're stuck in the problem, you can't find the solution. So you got to give yourself some space. Give yourself a break, and don't require of yourself to need to right now experience the antithesis of where you are. It's not going to happen. The solution is not going to happen unless you allow the solution to come, and unless you get into vibration with the solution. Because the law of attraction just basically won't allow it. The law of attraction will always give you what you're vibrating. So there's value and power in allowing the momentum of unwanted things to grow in your life. That's how you create what you want. That's what gives you clarity about what you want. If you don't allow the problem to get bigger, little problems bring little solutions, but big problems bring big solutions. So a lot of people are afraid to do anything. They're afraid to make any decisions because they're afraid of big shit to fly. Well, it's great when big shit flies, because then big amazing stuff gets created. So just know the distinction. So give it all you've got. Let the problem grow, and then give it a rest. Take a nap. And when you wake up, maybe you'll be in a receiving mode for the solution. Go have some fun. Go play golf. Go to the movies. Go make love. Go out into nature and allow the solution to come. But don't immediately go back to the problem and try to bang the problem into submission. Because a lot of people hold themselves in the problem mode their entire lives. They try to wrestle their problems to the ground and beat them into submission. And they've got a massive vortex of solutions, but they can never see them because they are problem-oriented. They're stuck in the problem, and that is how they have been taught. They've been taught to, try to beat the problem into submission. So the key ingredient to creating what you want is find resonance with the solution. Turn the other cheek, as the great Jesus, aka Yeshua Ben Joseph, said. You've seen what you don't like and don't want. Now look elsewhere for the solution. Look in the turn and pivot and look where you do want. at what you do want, because the solution is not where the problem is. So you could be having a step 1 moment, you're in contrast, and you could be feeling good about it because you know the gold that is being born from the contrast. You know the growth and expansion and clarity and the gifts that come from this step 1 moment. And we call that step 5. We're going to get to step 5. So trust that the solution is coming, and then it will. So step 1 is know what you don't want. Step 2, the solution is provided. Step 3, get in the receiving mode of what you're asking. Step 4, get really good at finding resonance with the solution more and more of the time. And step 5 is slip back and into the contrast, but don't beat yourself up about it because you know the value of contrast. I'm going to get more into details as those go along, so don't worry that I just whipped through those other steps very quickly. So what about fine-tuning, finding more juice in the things that you have and that you have become complacent about? You can put life back into things into alignment by acknowledging the fact that there are things about your life that you would like to be different, and you will feel good about those things, about things than you did before, because the contrast that you allow yourself to witness causes energy and therefore momentum to flow, and that's what life's all about. You love this life, you live this life to allow the energy that creates worlds to flow through you. That's why you're here. That's why you're on the planet. It doesn't matter what you are using as your reason to focus and get into alignment. Source energy is going to flow if you do that. And the point is energy flowing. That's what you want to happen in your life. Finding something that you're focusing upon, that you are asking energy to flow. You are the project. You didn't come here to create world peace. You came here to find personal satisfaction and contentment. You didn't come to solve the problems of the world. You came to define your own problems and find solutions to those. Even though you don't really have any problems, you're just really looking for improvement, creating what you want. You are the project. You are the project. You are the important project. You are the joy-seeking project. You are the life-flowing project. And everyone like you has direct access to all of this, all of these vibrations of creation, all of this ability to create worlds. You don't need to save the world. In fact, you can't save the world. They all have equal access to all of this energy, and you can't impose even love upon other people. So, you know, when people say, I'm sending love and light to that person, well, that can be helpful if they allow it, but you can't really impose anything upon anyone. Anyway, everyone has contrast. Everyone has a vortex of creation. Everyone is summoning energy. Everyone is either listening to or not letting in their source, their vibration, the love, the abundance, the well-being, etc. And you certainly can uplift other people and assist them by demonstrating through the clarity of your example, which is the best way you can help anybody, is by demonstrating through the clarity of your example how to live joyfully and happily even after. But you didn't come to save a world that doesn't need saving. There's nothing wrong with the world. It's not faulty. You came to demonstrate your own joy, that others might find their joy as well. The most delicious creating is to have knowledge of how this all works and being all right with having step 1 moments, enjoying the contrast, which again we're going to find out more about. That's step 5, which is being at peace with the contrast. And just basically having the bounce from it, enjoying the bounce from it, and enjoying the launch, the rocket from your desires into a massive improvement, and allowing the energy to flow through you. Energy flowing because of your attention to unwanted creation, improvement happening because of your attention to the unwanted. Yay, unwanted crappy things. That's going to create amazing, amazing solutions. So when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. It gives you great clarity. There's a clarification in that, because every subject is really two subjects: what you don't want and what you do want. So if you have a lot of clarity within you about what you really don't want, at the same time, whether you know it or not, you've got a lot of clarity about what you do want. You just don't have access to it right now because you're focused over here. So it's time to turn the other cheek. It's time to pivot. Time to focus on what you do want. But doesn't this show us that... where am I? Where was I? Okay. Oh, yeah. But doesn't this show us that focusing over here with what you don't want has benefit? Because it creates what you do want. That's why you came into this body. You said, let me at it. Let me come here. Let me experience contrast. Let me have some fun with this. Let me be exposed to contrast that's going to cause me to birth amazing desires for improvement. And if you understand your guidance system that's always guiding you to your desires from the contrast that you experience, then you understand, well, wouldn't it be nice if you can go, when you're experiencing dramas, you can go, wouldn't it be nice if blah, 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 and then immediately focus on the solution. And then energy starts moving towards the solution. And then you might think inspiring thoughts like, wouldn't it be fun if, wouldn't it be nice if, and it's going to be amazing when. Not because it needs to be done so that you'll feel better, but in just enjoying the desire of it, the deliciousness of desire of it. Won't it be fun when this is better? Because when you need something, this puts you in a sort of bound up place, in a desperation sort of state. When you're in a desperation state, well, you can't seem to manifest what you want. It's like the carrot that's teasing you, because when you've got a problem that you desperately need a solution, you're literally in deep shit, because when you're all wrapped up in need, I need this thing I'm preventing, I need this thing that I want so bad, you're just going around in circles. You're just pushing the solution away. What's better is, I'd like this thing, being much more, gentle. I'd like this thing. I would like to feel this way. I love the feeling of I love the feeling of having more money. I love the feeling of having an amazing relationship. It's just soft, gentle focus. Desire is the most powerful desire in all the world. Not, I've got to get this and I've got to kill this. Soft, gentle focus about things you want is the most powerful state of being, because you want it. You just allow it. Oh, thank you very much. You want it. You allow it. Oh, thank you very much. You allow it. You expect it. It comes. Thank you very much. All right, I'm going to stop it again and go to step 3. We're still in step 2. I know this is going to be a long-ass video, a long-ass series, but hey, it's the creation of reality in what you want. So I'll see you on part 3.